Hey guys, it's Shaylin and I'm here today with another writing video, and I'm back here today wearing my Half Moon Run beanie, which I wear a lot in almost every video because I have a lot of bad hair days, okay? So today's video is actually a video response. Remember when YouTube used to actually have video responses as a feature? Oh, the good old days. Anyway, so today is a video response to my best friend Emma's video, which she made called, I think it was My Biggest Fear as a Writer, or My Irrational Writing Fear. I'm sure some of you guys watched that video because I know some of you watch her. I will leave it in the cards and in the description. In that video, she talked about how since she's learning to screenwrite, she kind of has a fear of losing her fiction voice and having her voice kind of taken over by her screenwriting voice and never being able to go back to writing fiction after she learns how to write screenplays. So the reason I'm making this video today is not just to kind of put her mind at ease and give her some reasons why that definitely will not happen, and in fact the opposite will happen, but to kind of make my point that stepping outside of the form that you're used to can be super valuable. Right now I'm in a screenwriting and a fiction program, and I could have picked other things if I wanted to. I could have gone poetry, I could have gone stage play, but I went with my passion, which is fiction, and then I went with something new, which was screenwriting. And I actually had a lot of trouble deciding what that second class I was going to take was going to be, because I knew I wanted to go on a fiction route through my degree, but I didn't know what that second genre I wanted to learn was going to be. I'd done poetry in the past, to be honest, didn't want to get a degree in poetry. I might take poetry as an elective later on down the road, but I looked at all of the genres. I said, I don't want to do creative nonfiction because I don't want to do stage play because I really hate stage play. Looked at Screen, and even though I had the only experience I'd had with Screen was a first year writing assignment in Screen, 7 pages long, and I'd had such little, so little instruction from people who were not experts in screenwriting, and when I read back that old script, I'm like, what is this? This is the worst screenplay ever. But I looked at screenwriting and I thought, you know what? I think of all of these genres, learning how to screenwrite is going to help my fiction the most. Maybe that's not true. Maybe another genre would have helped me more, but I'm gonna be talking about why learning to screenwrite has made me a better fiction writer, because I honestly think it has. So for those of you who don't really know how to screenwrite, the format is designed for clarity of storytelling rather than artfulness. You don't really have to worry about, obviously you want it to read nicely and smoothly, but as long as it reads clean, you don't have to worry about making every sentence the most artful prose in the history of time. If anything, you want to avoid that. You can do things in Screen that you just don't have the luxury of in fiction. You know, you can say, and I always use this example of why I love screenwriting, you can say she pauses for a beat. You don't have to artfully describe the pause. All you have to do is say she paused for a beat, and that actress will know to pause for a beat. It's great. I love it. I am still a fiction writer at my heart, and I'm not intending to kind of convert to being a screenwriter, but I've found so many things I've really improved from learning this form. Number one is that I think more visually. That's a bad way to describe it, because I've always thought very visually, but when I think about a scene from my novel, I can visualize it. Being able to convey those visual images in a more concise way. I know that for me, I've always had kind of a problem for me as a fiction writer is that I've relied too much on internal imagery, and in the first drafts of my work there tends to be a lot of metaphors to describe how the main character is feeling, but not to describe where they are. From being a screenwriter, gotten a lot better at writing really clear, concise setting description, but I'm just more aware of it because you kind of have to in a script. You're not going to be new scene, interior, house, day, and just go straight into dialogue. You gotta set that scene. So it kind of reminds me that I have to set the scene, because I have a bad habit of forgetting to set the scene. I think a lot of writers have that bad habit. Number two, show, don't tell. This is the biggest piece of writing advice and the most common piece of writing advice that is ever given. It's just show, don't tell. And I think that it is a terrible practice to just go up to new writers, grab them by the shoulders and scream, show, don't tell, and then just run away screaming. Learning to screenwrite has taught me so much about how to actually do that, because you can't tell. Short of dialogue, short of really awful dialogue, which is just hello, today I am feeling sad, you have to show. Learning to screenwrite has taught me so much about how to show through these little details. Show how characters are feeling through little gestures. Show how things are important through just tiny details in the setting or in like objects. It goes against what Screen allows to write in the narrative, and she was sad. Because the audience, they are not getting this script. They only get the visuals that this script implies. So you learn how to put everything into visuals, and that is a wonderful skill. Number 3, it has taught me to say more in less space. Now, I'm an underwriter, don't get me wrong, but I also have always had a tendency to like wordiness and being kind of verbose and just like long descriptions of things that's like too long, and like I repeat myself so much in description it's not even funny. It's not even funny. And I'll say the same sentence like 5 times but slightly different because I need to make sure that you can exactly picture what I'm seeing. And learning to screenwrite has taught me how to show so much more, how to show that exact same thing in way less space, because in a script you want to have lots of nice white space, you want it to be really easy to read. If someone opens up a script and there's just like a block of text, they're gonna be like, calm down, please, and write yourself a novel. You can almost tell when you read a script if the screenwriter is a novelist or a fiction writer. You'll have these long blocks of description that like, get that down to 3 sentences, please. Being concise is a great thing in novels. Like, if you can be more concise, do it, please. If you can say the same thing in less words, it's always stronger. And screenwriting forces you to do that. It's great. And the last one, and probably the most obvious one, is making my dialogue as punchy as possible. Now, I've always thought that I'm pretty good at dialogue. Learning to screenwrite has taught me so much about making dialogue even punchier by not giving me the crutch of a dialogue tag. Anybody who knows screenwriting knows how annoying it is to open up a script and there be like a parenthetical under for every single piece of dialogue. Like, you don't want to open up a script and just have it like angrily, whispering, stuttering under every single piece of dialogue. That is so annoying. Actors hate it. Everybody hates it. You just don't do that. You kind of have to learn when you're screenwriting to make the dialogue speak for itself and make every line convey how the line is being spoken just through the word. It's another form of show don't tell, but just writing dialogue that shows how the dialogue is being spoken. Anyways, guys, that is my little chat about how learning to screenwrite has made me a better writer. I really enjoy screenwriting. It's really fun, and I've set it a challenge for myself this year to try adapting some things that I've written to screen. Like, not full things. I just want to try, like, say, like first 10 pages of a novel and try as a screen. Just to kind of keep up with screenwriting, since it's a skill that I'm developing. It's a skill I'm very new to screen. I've only been working on screen since September, really, but I think I've come pretty far. It has changed how I look at fiction, but in a good way. I hope, Emma, specifically talking to you again, that this is encouraging as you go into writing your first feature film. I personally have never written a feature. I've only written shorts. I'd love to write a feature, and I think it's so cool that like within the next couple months you're gonna have written a feature film, and I can't wait to read it because I love reading scripts, and I also like know a lot about the script you're writing, and it's gonna be hella cool. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I don't know if anyone is interested in more videos on screenwriting. I don't want to sound like an expert. Like, I know a lot about writing novels, a ton, and I have years of experience, and I have months of experience of writing screen. It is something I know, and it is something really fun. Even if I'm not the one to teach you, I would definitely encourage you to try to just look up screenwriting and how to screenwrite. Try it out. I use an online program called Celltext to screenwrite. It is free, and just play around with that, you know. It's got all the formatting if you don't want to, you know, fork over a couple $100 for final draft, because I know I don't. Watch some YouTube tutorials on how to screenwrite, or read a formatting guide, and try it out. It's really fun, and it's always a really fun exercise to try translating something you've written to screen. Try adapting. Adapting is a great exercise to really fine-tune what you have in a scene in your novel into like its bare bones of what it needs. You could cut so much stuff out of a fiction scene by translating it to screen. You will realize so many things that it does not need. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can always send me an ask on Tumblr, and I will see you in another video. Bye.